Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by saying, Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, Ma'amaf. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. And double honor to my elder as well, Ahar One, Binyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutation to the 144,000 hopeful elect, pushing the truth across the four winds, and to the one-third remnant believers in Yahweh Bahashem Shai, Shalom, shalom. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the word ignorantly and willingly call God Jehovah. Bahashem meaning in the name of Yahweh Shai, meaning he who delivers, who the word ignorantly and willingly called JC today. It's going to be a quick lesson entitled Be Not Over Righteous, because there's a real over righteous spirit, amongst the circumcision, where brothers get basically puffed up in knowledge or whatever the case may be, feeling like the Lord is only dealing with them. And we done seen it time and time again, whatever the case may be. You got to constantly have that spirit on you to make sure you're not offending another brother with your over righteousness or with that drive. Because, brothers have that, I'll do anything for the Lord. And it's understandable because we really be feeling like that. Brothers got that spirit, I'll do anything for the Lord. But even in that, you can possibly be offending another brother, offending one of the Lord's little ones, basically, for being over righteous or whatever the case may be, worrying about the wrong things. You got to worry about the motives, you got to worry about what's in your eye and the next brother eye. But even though we're going to correct our brothers, you see what I'm saying? If you just got done eating some chicken, you got food in your beard, brother going to come, hey, bro, you got a little bit, We do that. We correct each other, over the case may be. But at the end of the day, we humble because we know that the eyes of the Lord is always on us. And, that's like you at the job and you know what I'm saying, you're going to steal right in front of the camera or whatever the case may be. Sin right in front of the Lord, not caring that he see, well, you're going to get chastened, man. But Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 15, all things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life and his wickedness, right? Like the brother Wise One's fam that passed away. They used to be on the highways and byways with his son. He was going through it. He was in a wheelchair, but he was still out there exalting the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Shai. What it says, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life and his wickedness. People like Kodak Black, that know that they Israelites or whatever the case may be, but still rap about the same things. After going through it, the Lord sending you to prison for, dropping a song, talking about, I need a beat that's going to fornicate, knowing you're an Israelite or whatever the case may be. And then 1 minute you a Gemini, the next minute you a Jew or whatever the case may be. But yeah, he prolonged his life in wickedness. And you got brothers in this truth that been going through it their whole lives. You see what I'm saying? But the Lord, keep them at that same, in the same state, so they won't destroy themselves ultimately. And then you got niggas that just flourish in wickedness. And the Lord to let them do whatever they want to do, because when the day of judgment come, they're going to be, everything that we went through our whole life, they're going to be feeling it in months in a damn camp to the point where they can't take it no more. They just put their hand out and give pledge allegiance. But verse 16, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? And these are things that got plenty of brothers kicked out of truth, trying to be over wise, trying to, basically exalt yourself over all brothers, feeling like you just him, and the Lord dealing with you and you only, and just being over righteous. Oh, you doing this, you doing that, you know what I'm saying? Your hair too low, you know what I'm saying? Your fro higher than 4.5 inches, so you're not a man of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Just being over righteous, man. Worried about, man, we in Babylon or whatever the case may be. Just worrying about the next brother to where the next brother can't even be himself. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. I was watching a video a couple of weeks ago. A brother said, the elder gave it a decree that your hair can't be longer than his, and I went and cut my hair immediately. What's good? You see what I'm saying? Just over righteous, man. Like, I don't know how to be the elder. I don't know how to be myself. You see what I'm saying? And at this point, you know what I'm saying, you worse than IUIC. Them niggas got on purple. You the nigga with the 2-inch fro because you want to be like the next man. I don't know how to be like the next man. I don't know how to be myself, and that's just what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But Verse 17, be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou destroy? Why shouldest thou die before thy time? Right? You don't want to die because you added iniquity on iniquity, thinking that the Lord ain't going to take you up out of here. Thinking that, you know what I'm saying, the Lord ain't going to touch you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. And that's just what it is. What it says, verse 18, it is good that thou shouldest take hold of this, also from this withdraw not thy hand for he that feareth Yahweh shall come forth of them all. So right, if you fear Yahweh by Shem Yahshua, you gonna do the right thing anyways. You see what I'm saying? You gonna do what you gotta do to not die, so the Lord won't take you up out of here or chasten you. You know what I'm saying? If you see that curveball coming, that curveball being sin, you gonna step to the right and try to get as far away from it as possible, because you know with sin cometh death, or whatever the case may be. So we don't want to be overmuch righteous. We don't want to be overmuch wicked. We want to be balanced in all things. And that was the point that I was trying to get, without rambling too much, or whatever the case may be. Because I see a lot of things, going amongst the internet, or whatever the case may be, and brothers constantly trying to talk about this brother's sacrifice and this brother's sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? How, man, you don't know what sacrifice the Lord is accepting when it comes to a brother. You see what I'm saying? A brother might, brother might can only be in the sun, sickle cell, or whatever the case may be, only be in the sun for 40, 50 minutes, or whatever the case may be. The Lord, the Lord can very much well accept his sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't have I can't wrap my mind around the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. His thoughts are way above mine. You see what I'm saying? But I know once I deleted all my pictures off Instagram and I started doing the work on Instagram before I started dropping videos on YouTube, I felt like the Lord was accepting my sacrifice, even if it was a picture. You see what I'm saying? Because I came to the truth off a woman posting pictures on Instagram about Hebrews in 2016 and whatever the case may be. And then that's when I just knew that I was an Israelite. I used to go on the page all the time and basically scrolling and get more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Just scrolling and see what I could find. It was just 21,000 posts, pictures. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when ultimately the Lord led me to Elder Malcolm, that basically planted me and taught me the name of the Lord. And then that's when he basically led me to the Lion's Den, where, the brother's been watering me ever since, in this thing. Makan, man. What it says, Proverbs 11 and verse 1, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom, right? With the lowly is wisdom. We don't want to get too puffed up in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to the point where it becomes prideful. You see what I'm saying? We want to be balanced. You see what I'm saying? Not waking up every day looking for a video to do on somebody else. Do a video on yourself. Let us hear a time that you overcame a sin. You see what I'm saying? You take your sins and you wrap them up and put them in your back closet. You go in your closet and you pray to the Lord to hide all your sins, and then you'll go secretly look for another man's sins. You know what I'm saying? Let us hear a story about when you had to overcome a sin, or whatever the case may be. You got to watch out for people like that who always talking about what somebody did 17 years ago. But you got to ask them what they did 17 years ago. That's how you get them. Well, what you was doing? What you do? You know what I'm saying? What you did 17 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. Shit. Is repentance not enough? I already prayed to the Lord to take away my sins. I got to come in and repent to you too. You know what I'm saying? I got to come pray to you too and ask you to forgive me for what you saw me do, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? There's one lawgiver, man. You got to be yourself in this thing. You got to understand that Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is in control of all things. So I want to be balanced. But Job chapter 13 and verse 15. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him. Right. Though the Lord slay us, he take us through it. He chasten us as sons because he deal with us as sons. We still going to trust in him. You see what I'm saying? Even though we go through it on this side, you see what I'm saying? People don't care about us. We still going to trust in him because he loves us. But I will maintain my own ways before him. I'm going to maintain my own ways before the Lord. I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna follow after the next brother. You see what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. I'm going to be myself because the Lord made me my own character in this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna cut my hair down to 4.5 inches just cause you did it. I ain't you. I'm Barack. I'm Barack. That's just what it is. I'm gonna be Barack. You see what I'm saying? I'm not finna. What you got Muslims out there? This Muslim. I was talking to this Muslim at a job. He told me something. We cut our beards because an enemy. Because an enemy. If an enemy grab your beard, it's a wrap and you gonna die, or whatever the case may be. And I seen another brother in the truth. He basically going at another brother, saying we at war. We at war. You got those braids in your head. Okay, so you telling me what it says? Isaiah 59 and verse 18, when the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard. So he gonna lift up a standard against you, but he ain't gonna lift up a standard for me, my works. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Because I decided to be myself, or whatever the case may be, man. At the end of the day, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to maintain my own ways before the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Verse 16, he also shall be my salvation, for an hypocrite shall not come before him, right? The Lord is going to be our salvation, man. He's going to lift up that standard against this devil when he come in. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to accept our sacrifices that we throw up daily, every Passover. The Lord is going to accept our sacrifices every day. You see what I'm saying? He's going to be our salvation, and a hypocrite shall not come before him. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta examine yourself and ask, are you being worse than IUIC? Plain and simple. We keep the laws to the best of our ability, but at the end of the day, we ain't gonna keep all of them. So if you sitting right here coming at another brother because he doing this or he doing that, but what you doing? You see what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, we still examine ourselves. You don't want to be out here and be over much wicked to the point where you get kicked out of camp, you know what I'm saying, for being disobedient, or, you know what I'm saying, just being wicked behind closed doors. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to make our elders look bad. We don't want to make each other look bad. And we definitely don't want to make the truth look bad, or whatever the case may be. You know, be yourself. Maintain your own ways before the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Stop trying to, we love our apostles, but at the end of the day, I ain't finna walk like the apostle, talk like the apostle, smell like they're going, hey, what kind of deodorant and cologne is that, apostle? You see what I'm saying? I ain't finna do that. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna wear my favorite cologne, and I'm gonna wear my favorite deodorant, man. And I'm gonna wear my clothes how I wanna wear my clothes. Plain and simple. Everybody got their own style. Some brothers like wearing pants, some brothers like wearing shorts. At the end of the day, I ain't finna go wear pants just 'cause I see the apostles wearing pants. Be yourself. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 1. Judge not that ye be not judged, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thy own eye? Right? You rebuking another brother because of this. The whole time you got a big log of over righteousness hanging out your damn eye, sticking out the back of your forehead, man. And if a brother come tap you and tell you about it, first thing you're gonna do is tell 50 other brothers to block them. You know what I'm saying? Female tendencies, man. Or, you know what I'm saying, just, move like a female. One fight, all fight. I ain't gonna say that, but as a matter of fact, I am gonna say that. You had that spirit of one fight, all fight. I hate that spirit, bro. I hated that spirit growing up. So, I hated that spirit because when my little brother and my little sister was on some bully shit because they thought that I was finna. I remember one time I was at the park, my sister kept hitting on this boy because she thought that he wasn't gonna hit her back, and he was basically looking at me because he was like, man, if I hit his sister, he gonna come and fight me. So what I did was I said, all right, you better stop hitting that boy before he beat you up. So she kept hitting him. So he started whooping her ass. And I let her whoop her ass for a good 20 seconds before I got in, and I had to do something to him. But my mom was basically going, whoop me or whatever the case may be. But I let her understand that, yeah, if I ain't around or whatever the case may be, if you don't know how to fight, or whatever the case may be, just stop bullying people. Same thing with my little brother. He was trying to fight this boy that was bigger than him. I guess he thought I was gonna break it up when he started losing. Nah, I'm gonna let you get whooped so you can learn how to fight. And that's just how that is, man, because at the end of the day, you gonna have to stand on your own 2 feet. Same thing with my sister trying to bully this girl at school. I went up to her. I said, hey, stop trying to bully that girl. Because when that girl get on your ass, I'm not going to break it up. So what the girl did, picked my sister up, slammed on the hard floor, head hit the floor. I just came and I watched her. I watched my sister get her ass whooped because that's what she needed. You see what I'm saying? And some brothers in that truth, they got that same spirit. One fight, all fight. Whole time the one who you helping fight is wrong. Wrong in a lot of situations, but you ain't gonna say nothing about it, or whatever the case may be, man. You can't have that spirit. You gotta know when it's time to speak up and tell your brother that he wrong. Because if your brother eats some chicken and he got food in his beard, you know what I'm saying? He over there teaching on camera with a big ass piece of chicken bone in his beard, you ain't gonna tell him? We got to know when they correct each other, and we got to know when to let things go. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be a super judge out here, because at the end of the day, it's one lawgiver, man, and that's Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And we on camera at all times. So, with that being said, you don't want to be over righteous. Or whatever the case may be, understand that we're going to go through things on this side, and understand that, we can't control everything. That's why we got to apply scriptures. When scriptures say suffer wrongfully sometimes, we got to know when it's time to suffer wrongfully. We got to know when it's time to shut up. We got to know when it's time to speak. You don't want to be too quiet where you see your brother just constantly going off and you don't say nothing about it. You see what I'm saying? Offended 60, 70 brothers or whatever the case may be, and you ain't going to say nothing. The Lord going to come get you. You see what I'm saying? What would happen if Daniel would have came and saved Susanna? I believe it was Susanna or whoever. Those two brothers basically tried to accuse a sister of adultery, and Daniel stepped in. Basically, what would have happened if Daniel would have never stepped in for her? You see what I'm saying? You got to know when it's time to tell your brother, hey, bro, you doing too much. You got to calm down. You being over righteous. But Khan, it's going to be the last precept. Isaiah chapter 64, starting at verse 6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all of our righteousness are as filthy rags. And we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away. So, right, our righteousness are as filthy rags. You see what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, yeah, we do all these things for the Lord. But at the end of the day, the Lord don't need us. He can raise up stones to worship him. So we gotta take account everything that we doing it for our families. We doing it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to see our family, be going through it in a day of destruction. That's why I get out there and do that work, because, all type of things going to be happening in Jacob's trouble. And I need the Lord to, watch over my little children. I need the Lord to watch over my family, man, when it comes down to it. So I ain't going to never stop doing the work. And I pray that he hold me to it. And I pray that he calls my footsteps to do the work always and never stop. Like scripture say, grow old in your work, man. That's what I pray, that the Lord keep this spirit on me to be around my brother, so I never offend no brother. And if I do offend a brother, I apologize for it. I don't never want to offend no brother to where a brother looking at me a certain way every time I come up. You see what I'm saying? I want them to know me as somebody that's going to be humble and correct myself when it come down to it, and shut up when it's time to shut up, and speak when it's time to speak. Because at the end of the day, that's the spirit that the Lord put on us, man, to correct each other and to love each other. Because with correction, a brother can get closer. You know what I'm saying? You get closer to a brother, like, damn, bro, I was going off. Yeah, I apologize if I offended anybody. You know what I'm saying? Brothers are going to mess with you harder then, because they're just like, man, that brother humble, or whatever case may be, or at least that brother can acknowledge his offense, because there's a lot of brothers that got kicked out of this thing that done went off and don't even know that they was going off. Just, using and constantly, gaining and never giving or paying back, or whatever the case may be. And the Lord see things like that, because, brothers will easily brush something off like that. But the Lord, he's like, nah, you got to understand where you was going off. You see what I'm saying? But Khan, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Once again, Shalom, DTA, Abba Babal.